Hello and welcome to the Trekwright Channel. Today we're looking at the Mapes class battle cruiser or heavy cruiser, depending on whether they build it in time of war or not, because during peacetime Starfleet's not going to name something a battle cruiser. This ship came about because I wanted to do originally one thing, and then I decided to try to do two things with it. And the first thing was emulate the Defiant and the protected engines of that small ship on a capital ship, and that resulted in the engines being here in the middle. Well, they still look kind of fragile, but they're pretty well protected. The warp coils are only visible from the inside of the ship. And then the second thing I wanted to do was emulate Star Trek Lower Decks, where you walk along the engine to get to the back half of the ship. Of course, in this case, the back half of the ship is a lot bigger than the back half of the Cerritos. But I wanted to do that, and I wanted to, instead of leaving you wondering what are they literally crawling inside the engine, I wanted to leave enough room to where you could understand where they're passing. So the engines are literally down here, and up here you have all the shielding to protect you if you're walking through during warp. You get a couple of passageways and a turbo lift tube or two, and you even have a docking collar. Otherwise, it's got a roll bar. It's got the weapons roll bar similar to the Miranda class, but I didn't have it. I have it come up in a sweeping motion just because I think it looks sleeker. But also, I didn't want to come up from the side, then have the cannon, and then have it turn in at the cannon, where the cannon is the corner, because that makes the cannon integral to the hull, and if you damage the cannon, then you'd have a major overhaul. So instead, on this ship, it kind of blends around. It has a phaser on top, but the phaser cannons, much like the Miranda, are here, and they can be easily removed and replaced if they get damaged. And you've got torpedoes, photon and quantum. You've got your warp coil guns. Coming around the back, we have 4 impulse engines. I may be getting a little carried away. I don't like a lot of impulse engines. As much as I like the new Titan A that I've seen pictures of from Picard, I haven't actually watched any of Picard. But as much as I like the ship, I find it funny that basically something this size used to be enough to propel the ship, and now the entire back half of that saucer is impulse engines, including impulse engines that are exhausting right at the warp engine pylons and cooking them for lunch. So, but I can't be too critical, because look, now I'm doing the same thing, putting 4 impulse engines on this ship, which would add maneuverability and speed. So this one would be very well suited for sublight battle. Other than that, we've got more photon torpedoes up at front with more warp coil guns. We've got the name, we've got the bridge, we've got the escape pods, all the normal stuff. And now let's go ahead and get on to some beauty shots of this baby in motion flying through space. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'd like to see how many Trekkies we could get watching these videos. We did have 50,000 on one, which was pretty good. Pretty good. It blew my mind. Until next time, Qapla'.